Hello, hello. Hello. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. Hey, hey. Welcome to another stream of Plane Shift. And yeah, we have a new release out, which is very nice. It's been quite some work, but I'm happy about the release. Yeah, I'm happy about the release. There's a lot of stuff, and also I hope that this release can be stable for some time, because thanks to the new features that are in this release, I think that we can develop more stuff, right, on the quest, NPC, loot, the city manager. I mean, I think we have a lot of stuff that is actually in the client, right? And hello, children. Hey, thank you for the BTs. Hey, thank you. So yeah, we I think it was a nice release, and it didn't go without trouble, but you know, sometimes it's also nice to have some up and downs, and then you finally go up at the end. So it was okay, I think. By the way, I discovered why my PC was super slow today. Because one of the fan inside the PC stopped functioning, and so it was overheating a lot. So now I put a giant fan, like like the one you put on the table, right, in front of it, and it's going way better. And I bought a new fan that should arrive tomorrow. And yeah, this was why this morning was super slow, right? It was like sometimes it was nearly, I mean, it was freezing, because I think that the temperature inside was so high that the CPU was stopping to cooperate. It's good that I found out by just looking around the PC, and is the back fan. But anyway, yeah, so we have a new release out. You can see this nice picture I took today. Is showing the new armor of the Ilian female. That was the last character after many years. Was the last character, last piece of armor that we were missing, right? Historically, we never had the full set, because we were missing wizard robes, we were missing pieces of armor. We were even missing full characters at a certain point back in the days, right? So like we were using temporary characters, for example, for the Ilian female, right? So she's relatively new. But now finally we have all the characters, all the armor, all the wizard robes, right? And it is very nice. Is a kind of an achievement by itself. And then at the back you see one of the new guild halls, which is the War Smiters, and I think it's nice. I think we can do some work maybe on the textures to improve it, but you know, our game will never be super high quality graphics, right? Because we don't have the manpower, right, and the budget, you know, to do that. So you need to make a game nowadays. You need millions of dollars, right? Games today are done mainly a game like Plane Shift. That is a large open world. I mean, you really need a lot of funding in a team, right? But I'm pretty happy about the result. I think this one is cool. The helm is very nice. The fact that it's open at the front, you can also go there, and there is a door at the top you can go through, and you will be there on the top. And obviously we need to add a new NPC, new quest. I mean, there's a lot that we can add. But yeah, yep. So hello, Ula. Hey. And yeah, so the new release is out, and he has a lot of good stuff. Now, there are pieces of this release that are actually in the client. So basically you have them, but they are not enabled yet, right? And I have to enable. And so what I want, so we have to refine, basically we have to refine the release. And so what I will do, yeah, I finished this step. At the moment, everything is done on this release. What I want to do, maybe we will create a refinement chart, right? So let me do this. Let me save this as alpha 0749. Why we want to put it here? 0749B, let's call it, or upgrade, or yeah, let's call it up, or refine. Let's call it refine. Let's call it refine. Transparency will be low. So we can delete all the stuff that is done, right? Because we don't need that anymore. So I can delete all of this. Oops. I can delete all of this. This is all stuff that we did. Yeah, and this, for example, is one of the pieces. This we can delete. This we can delete. All this we can delete. This we can delete. It's all stuff that is done. Done. Maybe here we can add the what is called the Mandrake root. Do we call it Mandrake in game, or do we call it differently? Well, don't remember. So yeah, Mandrake root is still missing. It's one of the last that doesn't really have an on and off setting, but yeah, we'll put that like in the back. But yeah, there is a lot of stuff here that is yes, it's here. Convert mangrove. Mangrove, not mandrake. Mangrove. So I already have it there. So I don't need it here again. I was thinking to the quilldrake, that's why. Okay, so yeah, and then there is this freaking sit on chair that is making me mad. But this one will be for the next release, so I have to move it out at the moment because I don't have a solution. So this one, let me move it out a second, and we will think about it one day. But anyway, this will be a client change, so it cannot be done now, right? So there are a few things that we have to do, and the first thing is probably the most annoying, but is to associate the voiceovers to the NPC, right? And to the quest. This basically require, and we can do it now. I mean, I don't know. We have to decide. My skin, okay. The white or red or the bark, I think we removed it completely, no? So it's no more in the game. I think we removed the bark. I think so. My skin, the music, yeah. The music. Okay. So it is a fairly big task because we have hundreds of them and we didn't associate them to all. It's fairly quick to do because basically what I will have to do, I will have to take this file. I will have to take this file and pretty much line by line, right? Line by line, I will have to copy this, right? So I will have to copy a belly about you into the voice line, right? And I don't think it would be super hard. I think it would be kind of reasonable. By the way, I can do it. I can do this at least automatically to create the parentheses. So wherever you have like this parenthesis, the game knows that it needs to play. So maybe we will do that. But first, I want to create a list of all the stuff that we have to do, that we can do, right? So this is the associated the voiceover. Then next, we have to enable the NPC Gambler, but I don't know if I want to enable it by itself, or if I want to enable it through the city manager, right? But I think yes, probably I want to enable it by itself, and then it will become part of the city manager. Another thing I want to do, I want to add the descriptions to the Island 2 and to the Island 3. Island 2 and Island 3, because at the moment Island 1 is very well described, so you can basically click on anything. Well, not anything, but you can click on the major pieces of the island in the Draken Plain, and you get a description. While for the Island 2 and Island 3, we don't, right? And it's a bit of a pity. So that requires some time anyway, because we have to think, and I mean, yes, AI can help us a lot, right? But if I go here, right? If I go here and I click on whatever, I click on this, right? I get a description, and there is actually a description, right? Broken wall, carefully laid stone blocks from a section for the... Now, I don't know if you guys will read these descriptions. I don't care. I want the world to actually be described. I want, you know, the pieces of the game to actually convey whatever it was at that time, because there is a vision from the past. So, for example, here there is a plaque. There is a small bronze plaque that reads Elon Dinari 321 AI, right? AY or whatever, and so on, right? So maybe not many people will click on it, I don't know, but if they do, they anyway understand that there is a bit of a... I mean, this is all background of the game, right? So it's telling you about the Enkidukai conflict with the alien and such, right? So you can actually... And this, by the way, works also with the NPC.
This hall will be the greatest structure in the new city.
At least it was.
A monument to our civilization, our faith,
Interesting.
and our strength.
This one doesn't trigger. This one doesn't trigger. Why? Wait a second, huh? It may be another stupid thing of production versus dev, but is possible actually. Or I added it after I did the dump. I think yes, I added it after I did the dump. Possible. No, it's here. Ilian Builder C1. No, it should be Ilian 1. Ilian... I think Ilian 1 is missing. Ilian 2... Did this number change? It's possible. Yeah, there is another thing that we have to figure out, right? If... It's a bit strange that it was 0 actually. So this seems to be the right number. I really hope they don't change when you build, but... So if I change this to this and I save, and then I click on him again, and now it works. There is something we have to think about, because maybe some of these things will not work as expected.
We build halls to inspire, Now we raise walls to endure. The city begins to arm itself.
These are all described, right? These are all
They are
described.
attacking. They're inside the city walls. To arms!
Help me, I
Let me
need
see if
help.
this guy works.
Someone help me, please.
The guy doesn't work as well. So yeah, it seems that characters are changing their IDs between dev and prod, which is super annoying, but or this one was not added. I don't remember if I added this guy. Let me see. Let me see. We added it to, I think we added it here. Yeah, but this is a refinement I want to do. It is a refinement I want to do. Sector name, Draken Plain. I think it would be very nice to know if the Mac version works. Would be very, very nice to know. If some of you are on Mac, right? If there is a chance, let me see if someone is online of the Mac people. No. Let me see. Ilian Mail 2. No, actually, I didn't describe him. So he's probably, yeah, he was not described. Okay, fine. So we didn't lose anything, right? So I just didn't describe him. I mean, I can actually to go to click on him. You basically have to enter the fire or
Help me, I need help.
Be very close.
Someone help me, please.
Okay. I will help you. Wait. But yeah, pretty much here everything is described. And also this, right? Even the blocker should be described. Yeah. The blocker is described as well. So you can basically right click on anything, right? So that's my idea, that if you don't know what to do, you right click on stuff and you get hints from the game, or anyway you get some information, and even if at least you are not completely stuck, right? You can still do something. Now Highland number 2, and this I think is also, yeah, this one is also described, right? Because the game tells you to click on stuff when you go here, right? Right click on object to see to get their description. It may contain useful hints to participate in your adventure. So it's telling you here to do it, and so at least in the first island, probably people are gonna do it, right?
The vision is complete.
This well will serve hundreds of people in case of need.
Now, yeah, it seems to work on all the stuff here. By the way, this view with that building is pretty impressive. Wasn't that building in 150 max range? Huh? What happened? In theory, that one should not be visible. The max range is not respected in production build, or what? It looks like. But anyway, the point is, yeah, I wanted this to appear later, but one house appearing there. I don't know exactly why. I said 200 meters. Maybe 200 meters includes that. Possible. Now I'm like paranoid of stuff that doesn't work in production, right? In reality, okay, let me see if I go from here. It's still visible though. Interesting. Maybe I didn't set it on that guy. It should not be visible. But anyway, it's not a big deal. Anyway, you are in a crazy place, so it's fine if you know, if you see stuff floating or not, it's okay. I prefer to have each vision separate, but it's pretty much okay. I mean, I will revisit why, because it bothers me a bit, but that will require a new client update, so I'm not gonna do it for quite some time. Yeah, so I would like to do that. So to add a description to Island 2 and Island 3, I want to enable the NPC Gambler. We have to add the loot for the new monster, right? For the Quilldrake. We have to add the loot for the Quilldrake, and we have to decide it, right? We have to decide what this creature drops, and we also have to decide what how useful it is for whatever, right? So maybe a new recipe or a new stuff, right, that you can build with that thing. So then we have to actually add the Quilldrakes, right, to the, so we have to decide how they are distributed. So we have 3 types, and we have to decide how the 3 types are divided in the world, right? If you want them all in the desert, or if we want, so let's say we have to define where the 3 types of Quilldrake live, right? And also what is their distribution, right? And then we also have to define their strength, and we have to define potentially any special powers. Like for example, if the blue one, the crystal one, is magical, if he can cast some spells, right? If he can be a bit more, a bit harder to fight. Yeah, so there is a bit of work there. I was asking Eonwind if he could do it, but I think he didn't, so fine, I can ping him again. I will ping him now. You know, pinging is never a sin. Well, depends how much, but last time I pinged him was like 2 months ago. So when I said, hey, we're gonna add the Quilldrake, so can you create something? Any progress or ideas on the Quilldrake loot? Okay, just pinging him. I will ping 2 as well. 2 will completely disappear. It's not here since at least half a year, but who cares? I'm pinging them anyway. Always have a chance. So we have to do all of this for the Quilldrake, right? Then let me think what else. Let me think what else. Yes, we should use the visual equip functionality on NPC, right? Yes, now that we have this visual equip, we can make our NPC look nicer, right? Because they may have the visual equipment like the players do. So leverage visual equip on NPCs, right? And this one also is something that you can help me with if you want. So you can just tell me which NPC should have what, and I can just add, right? Because at the moment NPC could only hold something in their hand and have some armor on. So this was the only customization, right? Maybe some hair change, but now we can customize them with your visual equipment, right? Which I think is great. It's great, my boys. Boom, 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 boom. So there is visual equipment, refinements. No, sorry, 049 refinements. Okay, yeah, that I think we can definitely do. Possibility to sleep. Now, in theory, we could add sleep, right? I mean, at the moment, I think is so add sleep, add. Okay, now it's back to the big. Add sleep in tavern beds, right? So in theory, you could do that, and we could also with regeneration, right? Regen or bonuses, because this is the whole idea that I had for the city manager, right? So the city if you expand the city has better quality inns and taverns, and so you get to sleep in better beds and you get regeneration, right? So it's all like linked, right? So let's say that these two, this one and this one, the NPC gambler, in theory are connected to the city manager. And yeah, but I can still put them in without the city manager, right? We can just do it for fun, right? Yeah. Now, yeah, the new guild halls. I mean, obviously we need to create NPC and quests for the new guild halls, right? And this will not be super easy. So again, if you want to help me, just create a story. You can create a story. I don't know, Hula, if you are good at writing stories, but if you are, you can just invent some, send it to me, we can think about it, right? And Sulfroth was actually working on, Sulfroth said that he was going to work on some, not this one, the Conclave of the Glyph. Then we need to enable the teleport. Yeah, this will be the enablement of the teleport between the Gugronted and the Conclave of the Glyph, right? So we need to create the NPC, we need to create the guild halls, we need to create the stories, right? So now about the trees, I think there is nothing I have to do. About improved alien female, well, yes, we should leverage that. So we should leverage the new alien female on NPC. Leverage new alien female equipment on NPC, right? Because now they are all the same. I don't think we have many alien female NPC, but I remember one or two, so we can maybe customize them a bit. The voice line we already said, we just have to enable them. The new creature, we said that. Yes, and then the city manager, right? And then the city manager. So I think that we can enable the feature just to show it to the people, right? Now, most of our players are very veteran players of Planeshift, right? A story about what? We need to create a story for all the new guild halls, right? So we need new NPC, a new quest for the 3 new buildings. The tower, you know, the Indomitable Tower, the Conclave of the Glyphs, and the Warsmiter armor, this one, right? So there will be people living inside of this. So we need the NPC, their description, their dialogues, their quest, everything, right? Everything. So I think for the next 2 months, probably I can just work on this without touching the code, right? So it's probably what is gonna happen, but let's see. Yeah, so the city manager, I think we can enable the, so I remember that we decided who was the city manager of every city, no? Like we said, for example, Warren could be Warren or Warren? Warren, no? City manager. Willam, we said. We didn't decide. Yeah, but we need to decide the city manager for the main 4 cities, right? And we need to enable it. And we can do it. We can even do it now, just for fun if we want, right? So we need to decide who is the city manager, right? Of these places. Who is the city manager? Yeah. What loot gift they gave? Are you thinking to add a new craft system for every more quest rewards? More quest rewards? Yeah, we can add rewards with the current system that we have. We have already a lot that we can do with the current system. I don't think we need a new system. Hello, Eagle. Hey. Lizard skin crafting. Let Cayman selling lizard bags. For example, yeah, good idea. For example. We can maybe use some of the lizard skin as a cosmetic items, right? Like gloves, you know, made of lizard skin, or boots made of lizard skin. Why not? We could do that. We just have to think about it, put in the right idea, and then do it, right? But having a selection of ideas is already a work by itself, right? So, so we need to decide who are the city managers of the city. At least for the 4 main cities. We may also have one for Listarindel, but at the moment I think is not that relevant. So Listarindel maybe. Maybe. Raurim in the future. Right? Raurim in the future for sure. So that we can enable. Then for the city manager we have to decide I mean, the city manager is a big chunk of work for sure. This will be a big chunk of work, my boys. Vigesima. No, it's only Vigesimi. Is Vigesimi with no gender and no plural. Even if in Italian, yes, it would be like that, but... So here we have to define, right? Here we have to define the proper tiers. So we have to define the resource consumption, right? The resources and the benefits. And this will be kind of a complex work, right? For the city manager. And some of the benefits, for example, are these ones, right? That in the cities that you have boosted, you get, I don't know if you get better gamblers or you just get gamblers where in theory you don't, I don't know, you are not having before. I don't know, I have to think about it. But, yeah, so here is define NPC, define starter NPC, right? So the ones that are basically the city managers. Better if not the ones that already have 1000 quests on them, right? So that we can use a bit of the new NPC, right? We can use a bit of the new NPC. Now there is this freaking compass quest that I really want to finish. I mean, it makes no sense that it's still here since 20 years. I mean, I have this since at least, I don't know, 6 months. and I didn't do it, right? So I want to do this, right? I want to do this. There's no way I need to do this. And then I think wait, let me finish this and then I give you the other idea. Add a new creature, blah blah blah, NPC reply, city manager, okay, dice mini game, improves the unit game type, blam 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 blam. And the rest is just fixes, right? The rest is just fixes. Okay, and then the next big one to me would be the continuation of the main plot, right? So at the moment you pass through certain phases of the game that are definitely more articulated than before, right? So you get your race, right? You get your race, which has all this background story and stuff, right? You get the homeworld stories, right? And you get in the character creation. Then you get the portal, right? You get the purple portal, right? You get the purple portal, and then you get the Draken plane with a bit of story as well, right? With a bit of story, so you understand, oh, there are many races. I mean, I think that players will not really understand much because there are pieces, right? There are pieces that we give them, but I think what they will understand, at least at very high level, is okay, I have a race, I'm coming from a certain planet, that planet got in trouble, I went through a portal, I finish in this crazy place, someone is trying to stop me, right? Someone is trying to stop me to go to that place, wherever it is, and I managed to go through the portal again, so to exit from the Draken plane, I managed to exit, I get into the stone labyrinths, right? So it is basically all the introduction of the game, right? I get into the stone labyrinths, and then what I have, right? And then what I have in my hands is I mean, apart from the tutorial, okay, so I do the tutorial thingy, I do the so I arrive at the outpost, right? I arrive at the outpost, and in the outpost I start to learn a bit about the basic of the setting again, right? Because they are telling you, oh, there is a city, but the city is behind the doors. Why is behind the doors? Because the caverns are infested by creatures, and we are caring about invasions and all of that, right? So I mean, through all this thing, you are getting a lot of information about the game, right? Now, probably you will not retain much. You will not retain much of all of this. But if you think about it, right? If you think about it, in Legacy, in PS Legacy, we didn't have anything of this. So this was not existing, this was not existing, this was not existing, this was not existing. Well, this was partially existing because there was the tutorial, but it was not done in character, it was done out of character, and I think it was pretty bad, right? But now all this is all in character, and is all, you know, in the same story, right? In the same story. So I started from my own planet. I went through a portal. Someone is trying to stop me. Who is this guy that is trying to stop me? I managed to survive. I arrive in the stone labyrinth. I find civilization. Civilization is telling me that they need help to stop the invasions and to empower the cities, right? Because this is what they are telling you. And then here, what I'm left with, after all of this, I'm left with a torch, and I'm left with a welcome letter. This welcome letter, which I hope that all the new players get, but I think they do, because there is ended by, I think it's ended by Xenak, right? And it's actually multiple pages. I don't know if everyone reads it, but if they don't, I think they are in the wrong game. So the welcome letter. By the way, in the video that I've seen of people playing, they didn't even check the. Should we explicitly point the people to the welcome letter? But I think we do actually, because in the, let me see, in the, let me see one second, one thing. Let me see one second. This guy is a quest, right? This guy is a quest. Now, this part is super important, right? So if this doesn't work, obviously, we have to fix it. Do we need this thing? I don't even know what this thing is. This were my tests on the... But anyway, let me delete pretty much all of this, because this is all stuff that I don't need anymore. This was the yeah, this was the upgrade to, okay. So it is the quest. Like Xenak is this guy. If you want to know who is, I can go there so we see it together. And what the interesting. Okay, so if the bell yeah, because it's replicated. Okay, yeah, there is a small bug. There is a small bug in the bell, because the bell is actually a replicated object and is actually acting like an interactable, like an open door and closed door. But anyway, it's long to explain. But yeah, it's ringing because it's ringing when you come here, because it's getting replicated. So every time you replicate the bell, you will hear the sound. Ay, 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 ay. That's a bit of a bug. Okay, fine. I can fix that one day. So this is Xenak, right? This is Xenak, and is the one where you ask about entering the city, right? And can you let me into the main city, right? And in this guy is the guy that actually gives you three things. It gives you three things. It gives you 2 maps and a welcome letter, right? So actually here you get a torch, and it's not much, but you get it. Here you get a torch, and here you get, when you exit from the outpost, right, you get a welcome letter, Idla East and Idla Main maps, right? So this is what you get. I'm thinking that I think I had something about could it be packaged as a welcome starter pack with a bit of food, water and potion? Yes, but is that needed? I don't know. I mean, I gave the torch because the torch is needed to actually navigate our super dark world. So, but yeah, in theory you can also give some other small stuff to teach how to eat. Like, yeah, for example, one food could be nice because you could see how you consume it, right? Or a potion. That is actually, I think, a good idea tutorial wise, right? So still in this area, right? Still in this area. The problem is that we're already teaching you a lot, and I don't want to overwhelm people with. But yeah, in theory, Ibar could give you also a potion, right? So in case you take damage from the rat, which is basically impossible because the rat is very low skill. But you could, yeah, that could be a good idea actually, to continue the tutorial. So I could add, let me put it in the list. I think it's a good idea anyway. Fuck, but I cannot do it without a client update. No. Because I need the trigger, but anyway, it's a good idea for the future. Yeah, we need an update, but let's say we could have Ibar give a potion, right? If he doesn't do it already, but I don't think so. And then having a tutorial trigger to explain food, right? That would be nice. That would be nice. We can put it in also because the house where Ibar is fairly big and is a bit empty. So I think that would be cool if we can give a potion there and then give a tutorial tip in that house, right? Anyway, that's a good idea. We can do it. No, what I was thinking is that I had already some main plot thing, no? Let me see. Plot. Because I'm thinking about the main plot since ever, right? No, I don't have it. I don't have it as a mission at least. I think I have a one about a character creation remake. Let me see this picture. No, that's when we created the birth, the early life, and the onward. Now there was another picture that I remember very clearly, but I don't know how to find it. Where I was discussing how to get from the bronze doors to Idla at the beginning, right? Let me try tutorial. No. Okay, anyway, I cannot find it, it's fine. It was probably bronze doors. No. Character creation. New character. New character. No. Anyway, it was not very important. It's not very important. It was just a reasoning. So no, we don't have anything specific on this. So we can probably save this, right? We can probably save this and make it that. So this will be a real mission main plot, right? A real mission main plot. Okay. So you are left with this welcome letter, right? So this guy gives you the welcome letter. So you as a player, hopefully, are gonna read the welcome letter. And the welcome letter is saying something that is connected to that. Because it's saying, on behalf of the Vigesimi of Idla, I'm Ison Stronger. Let me be the first to welcome you to Idla. If you were one of the many who have been forced to leave their home to come to Idla, then you won't blah, 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 blah. With the rising attack which are making beyond the protection of the Bronze Door, these are surely troubled times. You could not have found yourself alive in a better city. Out of any of those found in the dome, you will not find a better place to find your friend, get safety, food, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it's a bit long, we can shorten it. But anyway, it's fine. Allow me to introduce your beloved city. First one of these who would like to see more on a daily basis is Anxi. Okay, so in here is probably the part that I can change, right? So here is pointing you to people, which is not bad because these are people that are starting faction quest chains, right? So the welcome letter is saying go to Arnquist, which is a smith. Yeah, if you want to join the crafting association, right? And the crafting association, I think at this point is the wrong name. Yeah, we have to change that. Including weapon, armor, shields, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we have to update this text now, but all newcomers should really see him no matter what their plan are doing. I think we need to change this letter, but basically my point, right? My point is that the welcome letter is a significant start of your journey for the factions, right? For the factions. So what I want to do, in theory, I want you to realize that you have to enter in one of the factions. Now, I don't know if anyone is really explaining you all the possibilities, and I think probably the welcome letter should, or even better, maybe an NPC should, with a small introduction quest. Like there is a quest that is beyond, but maybe it can be a quest at Arnquist, you know, it can really be a quest at Arnquist. Because when you arrive, because then this thing is pointing you to other stuff, right? But I think it's too much text. I think we have to make it a bit shorter. Because it's very nice text, but I think it's too long, right? It will personally train you with basic of blacksmithing, mining, metallurgy. Also, newcomers should really see him no matter what. We can help you to learn some spare 3 again. Some of this text is a bit like obvious, right? And we can probably kill it. Yeah, so I think that there's like this text, which starts from here and it goes up to here, can be probably 2 paragraph maximum, 1-2 paragraph maximum, just to say Arnquist is a smith, go there if you want, you can learn about blacksmithing, mining, metallurgy and such, right? But I think it should be way shorter, otherwise people will not read it. Then here is pointing you to Jomed, right? It's pointing you to Jomed. So it's pointing you to the cooking association, right? Which, by the way, now is a different name, so I also have to do this. So let me put it in the list because this text is outdated and now it must be changed. It must be changed. Update welcome letter text. And this I can also do without any new client release. Right? So it's pointing you to cooking. Then he's pointing you to Alelia as well, which is for herbalism and Alina, right? The only problem is that, you know, I think that very few people will read this text, and if they read it quickly, and anyway, they don't know these people, right? They don't know Ali. For them, these are just names, because they have never been inside a game. So I think it's a bit pointless to explain them all of this in one shot, right? Like, for example, here, we are explaining to go, right? For those who wanting to learn to use a weapon. So it is telling you, if you want to be more of a fighter and less of a cook, right? You should go to this guy. You should go to Percival. And he's telling you where he is, right? And then he's telling you about Gregory in the arena. So he's basically giving you all the pointers. He's giving you also Yonda as a crafter. He's giving you Durok for scientific profession and such. He's giving you Lavrus for magic. But it's really too much text. It's really too much text. So it's presenting you the religions as well, like the Iron Hand. So this is exactly what I wanted to do, but it cannot be a book. That is exactly what I wanted to do. So what I wanted to do is that, I don't know if it's the welcome letter or whatever it is, but there is a central thing that then sends you to the different professions, right? It sends you to the different professions. And there you start to see, and I think that this part, unfortunately, I'm not very happy to do it on one side, but unfortunately it needs to be a bit guided, because people cannot play games today by turning on their brain fully, right? They turn their brain 50%. So, and also I think they don't know that they have to do it. Maybe they would turn their brain on 100%, but they are not used to it, and so they will never read this book, because in every game books are basically useless, right? And so they will never read it, because there will be a novelty to have a book that actually is useful in a game, right? Where the text is useful, right? And so I think it's too much of a shock, right? And it's not possible. But it is exactly what I wanted to do. It is telling you, oh, if you want to become a priest of a religion, then you have to see these people. There are pickpocketers, right? And it is rumored that the Torian Gronk often found that Cadael has many connections with the underworld. So it is even telling you about how to become a thief, right? Because you can say, oh, beware of it, right? Beware of it. But obviously you can go there and speak with him and start to understand about the illegal activities in the city. So basically this text is pointing to all the factions, but it's too much, right? It's too much for a player to digest. But this is the idea. The idea is that after the outpost, you go somewhere and you start to be guided into one of the factions that you choose, though. That you choose. So you need to have the choice, right? The problem is that we have 23 factions. Holy shit. We have 25. Oh shit. No, 23. We have 23 factions. And so how can I give you this choice in game in a way that is not a book of 100 pages, but is something like a quest of a quest of a quest that then brings you at the end to your faction guild hall, right? That is what I want, right? That is what I want. So I want that you go through all of that. You understand that the city is in danger. You understand that you need to help the city. You understand, and you choose your profession in the game. At least the first one. At least the first one. But you have to choose it in a role-playing way. I don't want to put a menu, a freaking menu that tells you fighter, wizard, right? I don't want that. I want that to be in-game. Now, it is already in-game, because actually you can go to all those NPC. You can read, if you read the full letter and you say, oh yes, I want to be a thief, and you understand that Torian Gronk is your starting character, is your starting NPC, then you did it right, and you can really do it. And there are quests on that guy that brings you in that direction. But the question is, how can I do this without a book? How can I guide a person in 23 different directions? Because this book is not even explaining them all, by the way. Probably it is, but because it's pointing to Sharven, it's pointing to Jardet, it's pointing to Murago. Yeah, I think he's actually pointing to all of them, yes. I think he's actually pointing to probably all of them. But a player will be completely overwhelmed by this, right? Will be completely overwhelmed by this text. So we're like, what the fuck, right? Is 10 pages with names that I never, or people that I never saw, they mean nothing to me. So I think what this welcome letter should do is just to say, I think what this welcome letter should do is just to group the factions in major, yeah, exactly, right? Because what I can do, I can use the colors instead of the lines. And then it starts to become a bit more reasonable. Because the factions are actually divided in groups, right? So these are all the fighting factions, or let's say fighter kind of things. These are all the gods, right? These are all the magic. And these are all the crafting. And these are, and this is guards and thieves. So maybe what we could do, instead of pointing to 100, we could point to 23. Is already a lot, but we could point to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there could be like an initial quest, right? There could be like an initial quest that makes you discover these 5 things. Yes, I think we need that. I think we need that. And maybe some people already know what they want to do, right? Based on their background, based on what they did, based on the selection that they did in the character creation, based on all of that. In theory, we could even suggest them what their character is, right? Based on all the choices that they made. We could associate to each of the character creation choices, or it could even be part of your, that would be very nice if it could be part of your character sheet. In theory is this, but in theory is this tab. But what I'm envisioning at the moment is a diamond in the middle. Wait a second. Wait a second. I need grok though. I don't need this. Yeah, we are discussing a bit in general, but it's a very important discussion because it's connecting all the pieces of the game, right? So we finally arrived to a point where I have enough to connect all the pieces of the game, and all the stuff that has been done finally becomes something, right? But anyway, I need so in plane shift MMO. The character goes into the character. Let's do it simple for him because I don't know otherwise. The character can become a fighter, a wizard, a crafter. Well, it's not it can become, but can work towards becoming a fighter, a wizard, a crafter, a priest, a thief, or a guard, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Unfortunately, 6 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups. Yes. Or a crafter, right? Where is it? I lost it. No, I cannot see it. Easy. T for a guard. At any moment in time, it can be a bit of each, and he will progress on a certain. Well, it can be of each, and he will progress on each through the game, right? Through the game. I mean, it's not exactly like this, right? But I'm simplifying because otherwise Grok will never be able to do a picture, right? So I need an image with a diamond shaped thing in the middle, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in 6 directions with progress in 6 lines going outwards with a progress indicator. Better if it's the line itself to be the indicator. Can you draw it? Can you draw it? Okay, yeah. Kind of. He couldn't really do it. I don't know why he placed the wizard in the middle. Kind of interesting. And he fucked up pretty much all the text, but... And here he added a kind of a mix between a guard and a priest. Or a bard. Maybe it is a bard. But yeah, but anyway, this is what I mean. How do I copy this thing? Huh? No, save a cop. Okay. I will just screenshot it and GG. So the point I'm making is that this welcome letter, right, is the starting point of this thing. Is the starting point of this thing. That it doesn't mean that he has to be you know, so maybe you will progress on few quests here, right? And you will reach this point. You will progress on few quests here. You reach this point. Here you will do nothing. But here maybe you will do a lot, right? And here you will do like the beginning. And here you will do the beginning. And here you will do a lot again. The Beard. So... And here, right, and here you finally reach your freaking Guildhall, right? I mean, I'm oversimplifying a bit, but pretty much that is kind of the guidance that I want to give to new players. Now the question is, how can I from this core start, which is pretty much the welcome letter, right? It's pretty much this. How can I from this initiate all this path? Or anyway, give you a glimpse of what this path could be and make you choose one, right? One or more. You can choose as many as you want, right? So you can develop them all together at the same time if you want, right? But it's most likely that the player will start to follow a trail, right? We start to follow a thing. So I want to keep it completely open, so you can go wherever you want, do whatever you want, move as much as you want, right? Do any quest, but at the same time, I want to give a sense of progression, right? So that you are actually doing something towards a goal, right? And at the moment, that is very hard to get, as a new player, because you basically get catapulted into after the welcome letter, and maybe you will never you will not read it, right? You will not read it. You are catapulted and teleported here. So you arrive here. You arrive here. And when you arrive here, you are completely lost. You have no idea what to do, right? No idea what to do. And I want to change that. I mean, on one side is nice because you have complete freedom to go anywhere, but I think that is too much. I don't know what you think. You guys have been very silent. I don't know if you have an opinion on that. If you understand what I'm saying, where I'm going, right? And what I want to do, but the point is that you arrive here, and in every game that is not plane shift, you will have immediately, right, on the top right, we can mock it up, right? So you will have immediately on the top right something in gold with, you know, your first, or I don't know, something that is called like city introduction, right? City introduction, right? Go to Arnquist, right? That is what happens in every single game except plane shift. Okay, you will have city introduction with a big marker or something, with something, you know, like this, golden, a golden thing. Yes, in a nice marker. And I'm not saying we should not do it. I'm just saying that we don't have it today, and we never did it this way. Maybe it's time to do it. I don't know. I'm thinking, right? I'm thinking. So there is a nice city introduction quest, right? And it tells you. I don't know why I don't have enough, right? So there is a nice city introduction, go to Arnquist, and even more, usually, if you have this, clicking on it, right? Clicking on it, and just looking around, right? And just looking around, there will be a huge marker on the head of that guy, right? There will be a mega marker, like a super exclamation mark, as big as the game, right? In yellow or red or blue or whatever, in a very, very evident color. Yeah, exactly, but way bigger. 72. Can I put any number? 150. Wow. Exactly. Right. So there will be a giant marker on this guy. Hello, Beonadri. You could have an NPC stand there and start talking to the player when they spawn. That's more immersive than you are. Yeah, exactly. But my question is, can we make it better than that? Can we make it better than that? So can we take all the choices that you made in your character creation, which by the way, they are a lot, I tell you. Because You selected a weapon at Hibar. You selected all your childhood. You selected all your adulthood story. You selected now with the new Drakenplane, the main traits, right? Psychological traits. So can we take all of that and maybe add a bit of randomization? And then, or have you spawn in a different place, or have an NPC of that type that contacts you somehow. But I want it in game. I want it in character. I don't want a UI that is telling you. I want someone that walks to you and is speaking to you. I don't want a UI. I don't want this. I don't want. I understand it's fantastic, it's beautiful, it's easy, is nice, is how every game does it, is super nice. But I really hate that. Because it's completely out of character. It's like destroying the immersion in a second. It's like GG the game, uninstall. I'm exaggerating, obviously, for the sake of explaining my feelings, but maybe the characterization sets you expanding depending on the thing. Exactly. Something like that, right? Something like that. Or the problem is how to articulate this, because it's very complex, right? So we have 23 organizations, and unfortunately not all of them have a place. Well, I think most of them have a place, and now luckily we added 3 more places, right? We added the Warsmiters, the Order of we had the Warsmiter, the Indomitables, and the Conclave of the Glyph. So we added 3 new locations. The problem of these locations is that they are very far in the world. So they are nice because they are nice. I can move them if we want, right? But the problem is that those, if this is our world, right? Our world is made pretty much like this. Wait. Our world is made pretty much like this. And this is where you start, right? And this is the whole world. Unfortunately, those guild houses, I mean, one is here, and one is here. And all the initial quests, right? All the initial quests are obviously around here. The Black Flame has the Black Flame place, yeah. You don't know it? It's the Black, yeah, there is a place for the Black Flame. Ah, you want to know if there is in a new building? No, it's not. The Black Flame already has that one. Already has the temple. The temple that is in game now for the Black Flame. That's the place. If you never visited, you missed something. The character creation could make a recommendation that the player can override before logging in, so the choice could be still for the player but still for new players. A big new one? No, I don't want to make a big new one. No, I have to make all the others, Hula. So the next one will be the Rangers of the Dome. I already have the 3D model, by the way. I cannot show you now, but Rangers of the Dome. I already have the. Yeah, but we can reason on this, right? We can reason on this. So we can reason on. We can reason on the. You see here we also have the current quest numbers. So how many of these factions actually have quest associated, right? You see that, for example, all the magic has already 10 quests associated. This one's already all have it, but this one don't, right? So the majority have quest associated. Holy shit, 42. What is having 42 quest? The Eternal Forge? Holy moly, I think it's the wrong number. Shame on me, well I haven't done the quest because the frustration I have to do to start for going in. Okay. I can show you if you want, but I can show you quickly if you want. If you've never seen it. If you've never seen it, I can show you. Just because it's you, Hula. Just because it's you. I can show you a piece of it. I can show you a piece of it. No, it's pretty small actually. It's pretty small and it's pretty dark. But it is the main altar. It is the main altar. And it is the symbol of the black flame. And there is a flying thingy there. And there are these weird particle effects with strange noises. And there are these very thin corridors going in places. And there are some libraries with books that you should never read. Otherwise you will go mad. Insane. If you read these books, you will go completely insane. So you have to be super careful, okay? Now you have seen it. You will never see it again. Okay. Yeah, the problem is that if you bring you to the guilds, that is impossible. I mean, unless we redesign completely all the quests, which is an impossible task because we have like 500 quests. We will have to like redesign the majority of them. Well, maybe the initial part of them, but as I said, all the initial quests are revolving around this area. So you can basically start your cooking thing, your fighter thing, your guild, your guards thing. You can start your cooking, your crafting, your thief, your guard, your thing, right? And you can do it pretty much all in this area. Then you will travel, right? Then after you start, you will travel. And it's fine. But the start must be somehow in the core part of the city, which by the way, it makes sense because is the most active and busy part of the city, right? There are the most houses, the most people, the most trades. So it makes sense that here there is the majority, right? Yeah, but so I think that it would be nice to teleport the people. It would be nice to teleport the people to another place, but I think it would be extremely unpractical for game design, right? It would be extremely unpractical. It's not a game philosophy that I like to see the working player. No, in this case I don't want, right? I don't want to start, because if we start here, then the player will be in a every player will be in a completely different area, and they will be super confused, I tell you. Will be super confused. They will not meet other people. We don't have the taverns. We don't have... It's a mess. It's a mess. It needs to start in the same place. He needs to start in the same place. But maybe there could be an NPC, or there can be a creature, or there can be a magical whisper, or there can be something. You know what we can do? You know what we can do? I mean, in the welcome letter, I can say only one thing, right? I can say only one thing. I can say, in the welcome letter, I can say, welcome to Idla. On behalf of the Vigesimi of Idla, I'm Edison Stronghands, right? Let me be the first to welcome you. And then it will just say, you are required to meet me first. And we have an initial quest which is explaining you the factions of the game. I think it is the only possibility. So you go to her, right? You go to her. We can move her in case if it's too far, right? You go to her, which is in this city. She's usually standing here, but we can move her, right? We can move her in another place, right? We can move her to another place, and the first thing will be is obviously night. Yeah, and maybe we can also develop something. The problem is that we need a place where she could be. I think that the place where I don't know. I think in her brain she has few places where she can go. Let me check that. Let me check her brain. We are reading the brain. We are reading the brain. Go to Gazebo, go to Archilaya. Yeah, she may go in different places, but she may have a problem even with the base location. In fact, she teleported. Where did she go? Ah, here. So here seems to be the base location. Now, this place is not very easy to reach because is in the higher part of the city. I mean, it's the same city, but it's in the higher part of the city. And a new player will have a bit of hard time arriving here, right? Navigating through the city and arrive here. But what I can do... Now remember clearly a bad beer, you need to search from Mojo for a small beer. I mean, do you think that she will be available to speak with every newcomer or not? I don't think she will. I think she will delegate someone. I think she will delegate one of the guards. I don't know exactly who. But I think she may delegate one of the guards at the doors to actually take care of the newcomers. Why this NPC is completely black? What the fuck happened? What happened to you, my friend? Why you are completely black? Anyway. So, for example, there is a guard here, right? There is a guard here. Yeah, but anyway, I'm settling on the idea that we need an introductory quest. We need an introductory quest. Because if I look at the list of quests, let me see a second, right? There are, how many quests can be started from scratch? 1 million. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20, 30, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 45, 50, 50, 52, 60, 60, 61, 62, 63. So we have like 60 plus quests that are initiated without any prerequisite. So you basically go around and ask people, and maybe people will have a quest for you, right? Maybe. But for example, for magic, right? For magic, we have an introduction. For science, we have an introduction. For priests, we have an introduction. For blacksmith, we have an introduction. The problem is that we have a lot of introduction quests, but we don't have an introduction of the introduction. This, I think, is what we are missing. And I think a player would be expecting it. And I think I agree. Now the only question is, where should that happen, right? Where should that happen? Where should the quest of the quest, the father of all quests, actually start? I'm thinking that she may point you to someone. She may point you to a guard. Who are the guard? Who are the guard in Island? Can I order? Can I order NPC by sector, by role? Probably not. List NPC by faction. Ah, this is nice. List NPC by faction. Oh fuck. There is another work we have to do, guys. We have millions of NPCs without a faction. Millions. There is another work that we have to do. Like all the guards obviously needs to be on the Octarty faction, right? So update all NPC factions. Because if I don't do it, right? If I don't do it, it will be very hard to identify. But anyway, if I order so list NPC by faction is useless at the moment. I'm looking at the other screen obviously, but I want to list all NPC by type. No. I want to list all, nah, there is no way. Okay, I will search it by sector. And that's it. Okay. So, potential guards to do this thing. Finara. Jefekra. But wait, only Nightline. Tabane, but Tabane is the one in front of the... No, that's not possible. Tabane is the one in front of the Octarch, I think. Trankin. Yeah, Tabane and Trankin are the two in front of the Octarch. These are the Octarch guards, so maybe it's not a good idea. Not all of them are listed as guard though, why? Like Pauril... Why Pauril is not listed as a guard? Huh? It's impossible. Ah, it's not a guard. Okay, my bad. It's not Pauril. Who is the name of the... Ah, Percival. Sorry, I'm Percival. Percival, for sure. So Percival can be one of them. Percival. Who else, guys? Rabartus, no? Rabartus for sure. Is the brother of... is the brother of Jefekra. What is the name of the other guy? Moren? The brother of... wait. We are missing one. I think we are missing one. No? Bevon. Let me go to Bevon 1 second. Bevon. I mean, all the people in front of the... Yeah, exactly. Bevon. Bevon, and then there are these two. One is Finara and Remant. Yeah, we have a lot actually. Bevon, Remant and Finara. So Remant and Finara stay together. Jeffrey and Rabartus stay together because they are in the same place. Tabane and Trankin at the Octarch, Percival, and then I forgot the other one, Bevon. Bevon, right? Is a soldier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9 that could be, but these two I think is not a great idea. These two I think are not a great idea because they are actually in a very special place, which is this, which is the residence of the Octarch, which is basically the major governor of the city, and I think they will never leave their post, right? So they are just guarding this hall like madmen. So. And this guy also will never leave his post. Yarop, yeah. This guy will never leave this place. But we need a guy like this, right? So we need a guy like this, which is like the bodyguard of Midison. This guy is the bodyguard of the Octarch, right? It's a pity that he doesn't speak. I mean, he doesn't free speak. He doesn't speak with voice. I like that they move now. Let me think about it. Let me think about it. These are all people for the Octarch. But anyway. One day we will remake these places. Rabartus. Yeah, the problem is that if they are moving, is even harder, right? Because... But yes, I think it can be some of them, right? So basically the idea is you get the welcome letter, You know what I'm thinking, but I cannot do it now. I'm thinking to add really a guard post of some kind. In the... I mean, it can even be one of these towers, I don't know. I'm thinking to add a new place that is where the players get welcomed and introduced at the beginning. Because at the moment you are spawning like in the middle of this plaza, but it doesn't really make sense, right? It doesn't make sense. So you're just spawning here, but why? I mean, okay, they brought you here, fine. So they brought you here. I understand that. But I mean, you went through all of that in the outpost. They give you all those quests. You did all the stuff. You did the training. You did all of that, and then they just leave you like this. They just throw you in the street and let you go by yourself. I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So, I mean, we can build it here, right? We can build it just with items, or I mean, we can just drop stuff, and then maybe in extra release it becomes a real thing. But I can just drop stuff. Hello, who joined? Hello, Midnight Moonlight Games. Hey, thank you for the follow. And welcome. Hi. So basically the idea is to have a place here in the city where you get your first call from the city guards. And I think it makes sense that they are the guards, right? I think it makes sense that they are the guards, because anyway you are a stranger, right? And so, yes, they want you to be in the city, but at the same time, they may also, you know, be suspicious of what you're gonna do. So I think it makes sense. So the welcome letter can just be, hello, I am a Midison, welcome to the city, but, right? But, you have things to do here and we need your help because the city is anyway in trouble like most of the region. Right, you have a mission here, and your first mission is to speak with this guy, which is I don't know, a guard of the city. And this guard of the city will give you a very detailed introduction. The problem is that, again, if I think one of you said the character creation can give you a choice, right? The character creation could make a recommendation the player can override. So I would like it to be a quest. So I think you arrive into the city, read the welcome letter. If you don't read the welcome letter, GG. I mean, you are just lost. It's not my fault. If you read the welcome letter and I make it short enough, so that is really, really short. And maybe we can have here a trigger, right? We can have a trigger that tells you open the welcome letter. I can do that, right? I can do that. It's out of character, but it's fine. I can say, he can remind you that you have a welcome letter and he's asking you to open it. You open it, and inside the letter it says, hello, I'm Armizon. Meet this guy. And she can give you some directions. I don't know exactly. By the way, at the beginning you also get a map. That I don't have here. but you get two maps, right? We said that you get two maps. You get the Idla East map and the Idla main map. So maybe at the beginning, in the tip of the tutorial, we can ask them to read the welcome letter and then to use the map. Now, to use the map is not super simple because you will have to click on this and then click on this and then click on this. So people may not reach it. And I would say that this map, considering it's not a mini map, may still be confusing to people because they don't know where they are, right? They don't know what Idla East means and what Idla Plaza means. They don't know it. They don't know it. Hello, two cats. Hey, welcome. We have the Explorer info booth nearby. What if you just add an NPC to run the booth? An NPC to run the booth. You mean that booth that is there since ever? And I never understood what was it, like this one. Yes, but it can be, yes, it can be here, yes. Yeah, it can be here, yes. Or I can make this building something that you can actually enter. The problem is that I don't have a door. I mean, I can drop a door, but it will look a bit weird. But yes, we can have an NPC. I mean, it should be very close, right? It should be very, very close. So I'm thinking even an NPC on this tables here, right? Even an NPC just here. Right? That he has the boring job. I mean, he's a guard, right? We can make a new NPC. He's a guard, and he has the boring job to greet the new people. I gotta say the art style is translated well into U5. Well, consider all the texture has been upgraded. So if you see yeah, but they are the same texture, just upgraded. For example, here there was no gem, but yeah, and this was really, really, really low resolution before, right? And now it's better resolution. So maybe it can just be an NPC here, you know? Now the problem is, okay, let's assume we have an NPC here. And you are spawning like next to it. So if you miss him, I mean, you are blind, right? And this NPC may even have a greet distance speech, right? So that if you are within a certain range, it's just speaking to you. A bit like Abelia, when you approach her, she's saying something, right? So now my real problem is, can this NPC tell you all of this without killing you? Because now we have something better than a book because we have an NPC, but the problem remained the same. Right? The problem is identical. And the problem is that we have so many potential targets. So many potential targets. So many potential targets. So what should the NPC say, right? The NPC could say, we need people to help the city. I mean, he can say the same thing that she said, just a bit better, right? We need people to help the city. The city needs materials. The city needs the resources. The city needs fighters. It needs priests. It needs cooks. It needs basically people that do any kind of job, right? Based on your, you can say, tell me your story, right? That would be very nice if you could say, tell me your story. So the NPC will say, tell me your story. And you click on a button, which is just tell him your story, right? Tell him your story. So it is not text, right? But basically that is the way that you tell to the NPC all this story that you went through, right? In one click. and the NPC says, ah, very interesting. So you know how to blah blah blah, right? So it can be a dynamic text. I don't know if I can really do it, but I think I can. And so the NPC says, then I see that you would be helpful as a cook, right? Or as, now I don't really know if every player has at least one skill, right? But I could make a function. I could create like a C++ function that is basically reading all your background and is just guessing, right? Is guessing one of those. And so the quest can be, I think it is becoming something, guys. I think I like it. I think it's becoming something. I think it's becoming something. So it will work this way, right? It will work this way. It will work this way. Welcome letter. Welcome letter. Go to this guy, whoever is this guy, which is probably a new NPC. I don't think he's any one of these guys because these guys already have. So I think he's a new NPC. He's a new guard NPC. He's a new guard NPC. So go to XYZ, whatever it will be, right? Mr. Guard. You go to Mr. Guard, and Mr. Guard is saying, we need this, and this, generically. We need people that can cook, we need people that are alchemists, we need people that are fighters, we need priests, we need this, we need that, we need this, we need that. So you can have a long list of everything that is possible in the game, right? And then he can say, we need that, but I don't know you, right? But I know little about you, right? I know little about you. And then he can say, tell me about you, right? Tell me about you. And the player, right, will click just on it is my story, right? It is my story. And so now that NPC knows your story, right? And now you can say, based on your, based on your story, or based on your skills, right? I think you should speak with whatever. And at that point, we will point him to one guy. We will speak to, I don't know, Levrus, for example, right? And then I think this NPC will anyway have all the other options. Even if they are a million, it will have all the other options. And it will be your starting NPC. So for example, you can ask about magic, right? And he will tell you a bit about magic. Or you will ask about, but I would like to learn, I would like to learn about magic. And he will point you to Levrus. Or he will say, okay, no, I want to be an alchemist, right? And he will point you to someone else. And I just want to be in the arena, fighting, whatever. And he will point you to someone else, right? So I think this initial NPC will be the greeter of the city, but also a guard that is really has that job, right? Really has that job. And his job is to direct people. And there can obviously be a question, right? There can obviously be a question about the thieves, even if he's a guard, right? So, like, is this city safe, right? There can be a question like that. Is the city safe? And the guard can say, oh no, there are also thieves, right? There are also thieves, and there are rumors, right? There are rumors of blah, blah, blah. And so this will be your pointer to the Thieves Guild, right? If you want to. And so you say, fuck the guards. I go with the thieves, right? So we can basically have, now it will be a lot, but I think that in terms of introduction, so what I have to think is how many Because you see that we already have this, right? So we already have this logic here, which is the starting NPC. But what I was missing the father of the father, so the starting of the starting. Because here we already have this idea, right? We say, for everything that is fighting, you start with Gregory. Okay, the Black Flame, I think the Black Flame will not be mentioned and is just something that you cannot get as a player at the beginning, right? So you just don't. But right, but these three guys like Murago, Sharven, or Jardet, they are already starting quest chains, right? These guys are starting quest chains, and Lavrus is basically and Lavrus is your entry point, you see, for everything. So at Lavrus you basically choose the beginning of your way. You choose one of the ways, and then based on one of the ways you get redirected to these people, and these people have the next quest, right, for that. So this is already covered. Basically we have everything covered. The only problem is that I think we need which are the initial, right? Which are the initial? I don't know if I want to do it here, but I think we have. So let me do this. Magic, Lavrus. Any kind of fighting, Gregory. So Gregory should be the entry point because in the arena, because otherwise it's a mess, right? We need one entry point. If we have 20 entry points, it's not gonna work, right? It's not gonna work. So it needs to be Gregory. Black Flame, nothing. Talad, Murago. Murago, is it easy to find or not? Where the hell is this guy? He's not very. I can move him in case. This guy is in a very bad place. This guy's in a very bad place. He's not very reachable. He's not very reachable. But anyway, I think his aim, let me see on the quest list. Is it really him or not? Is it really him? Let me see. Murago. Yes, is it really him? Yes, is really him. The problem is that it doesn't have an introduction quest. It's just directly asking you about something, but it doesn't really have an introduction quest. I think we need a bit of an introduction quest, but I think okay. So I think we can point you to Murago. I agree. I maybe have to move him, but I think we can do that. Guys, I'm seeing the next 3 months as only quest and NPC. Only quest and NPC. I think I'm done with programming. Because we need to do this, guys. We need to do this. There's no way. New players are totally lost. Totally lost. And we need to guide them a bit. There's no way. We have to do it. I always wanted to do it. I never did it because we didn't have the pieces. Now we have all the pieces. We have to do it. It's annoying, it's long, it's whatever, but we have to do it. Lanx, Sharven, super easy because it's inside the temple. It's the biggest structure in the city, so I hope it's very, very easy to find, right? very easy. Dakru, obviously not. Dakru will be an extra thing that if you want to do, you will do it, but you will, because it's in the Death Realm, so no way. This one will not be a pointer. And Jardet will be a pointer, right? I'm trying to understand how many pointers we have, right? Okay. And we have the religion. Then magic is all Levrus, which is easy. Now the jobs are the real problem. The jobs are the real problem. Because there are many and they are so different from each other. Because we have applied knowledge, which is the... And by the way, on this one we don't have anyone. And we have 0 quest at the moment, so this is all to build. I mean, we can also leave it empty and for now, and but in theory this one we need to have it, because this will be all the engineers. So for example, all the observatorium, right? All the observatory. I don't know why Durok cannot be, because Durok is already here. You know, maybe Durok can become both. Do we have an engineer, or do we have, because this is applied knowledge. So the be to teach it or build the city and maintain them. Remember, are engineers, architects, builders, scribes, librarian. Librarian, we can add JOs, historian and teachers. Yeah, I think this should be JOs. This must be JOs. This must be JOs. Must be JOs. There's no way. This must be JOs. This must be JOs. We don't have any applied knowledge quest. No, we don't have any applied knowledge quest. Because JOs is JOs is in a million quest, but it existed before all this existed. So so unfortunately JOs is in a million quest. Oh my god. JOs is in like 30 quest. Jesus. And he's already in the Azure Way quest, actually. Yeah, he's already here. He's already the start, but I think we'll be the best guy to do it. He's in too many quests already, but who cares? I mean, he's an important guy of the city. I cannot show you the list, but he's like 30 or so. So he's basically involved in every quest that is in the city. Which is insane. But we can add another one. I mean, one more is not... But anyway, reading the description, right, which is like scribes, librarians, historian, and teachers. I mean, JOs is perfect. I mean, he's not an engineer, he's not an architect. Or we create a new NPC. Do we have any engineer? I mean, we have them in the winch, but the winch is too far. I mean, we can also skip some. I mean, it doesn't mean that we have to, right? That we have to have all of them. We may also skip it. Maybe we skip this one. Because, for example, applied knowledge, I think would be very nice if it's someone in the winch. Who do we have in the winch? Idla winch. Idla winch. We have a lot of people. Asigra, Axomir, Baborer, Datal, Akik, Ikrin. We have a lot of people there. Who is an engineer of these guys? But this basically means that the engineering will be only started later on, right? Maybe we can have a winch guy or JOs. Maybe we can skip this one for now. Anyway, we have 0 quests, so we have 0 quests. Now, Cooks is Jomed. Easy. Cookies Jomet, very easy. I think we can point to that without any problem. Mining and metal extraction is fallen, and I think is no question on it, which is the essential trail. Fine arts is Yonda, also is very close, so it's easy to find. Now, is fine arts really something that we want to have as a main thing? That I would say no. I think that fine arts can be an alternative, so can be. Yeah, I think we can have some core factions that the city is interested in, and some, I would not call them secondary, but some separate factions that the government is not interested in, right? Because maybe they are not producing something super relevant to extract, to increase the quality of the city. So maybe fine arts, we keep it on the side. The caretakers are super important because there are the alchemists, the doctors, the pharmacists, the barbers. Well, the barber is not that important maybe, but the alchemist, yeah, the herbalist. So this one is like super important. They are called caretakers, but is that right? And it is Durok. Okay. Okay, I think this one I want to have. It's too important. The Eternal Forge we need to have. There's no way. The Eternal Forge, there's no way. So is all the blacksmith and weapon making and sword making, blade making. I mean all of that. So this one is like super important. The Weaver's Tree is also very important because it's everyone that does leather, right? So all the leather armor is created this way, right? Dyers, tanners, tailors, weavers. So all these people, I think is very relevant. How many quests we have here? 9. So it's a good streak. I think it's a good streak. So I think that we need it. The big issue is that this is in Ojaveda. Fuck. So this starts very far away. Huh. So this can become secondary. Okay, let's make it secondary. GG. Then there is the Octarchy. The Octarchy is everything. I don't know this number 42. I mean, do we really have 42 quests on the Octarchy? Are you real? I mean, 42 seems to be an insane number. Well, actually, I see 10, 20, 30. Looks like yes. We have a lot on the guards. A lot, too much. Don't forget you now have the new Idla area without NPC that can be populated with new quests. Yes, that's a good point, Ulla. That's a good point. We can so for example Murago, right? Murago. That we said that is in a very stupid place, right? Can we move this guy? Can we move this guy to the new area? And maybe, I mean, it's not a. It's also that area is not very easy to find, right? But I think it will make more sense. It's closed. No one is going through this. Wow, the animation is very slow. Yeah, we have to repurpose this area. We have to repurpose this area for something. I don't know for what, but I think that yeah, it still has the stupid separation, right? It still has the stupid separation, which was done because in the tutorial you had to follow certain sequence, right? And oh, there are 2 stairs. Really? There are 2 stairs. Well, maybe it's done by purpose. I don't know. You know what? Yeah, maybe we can have in this area a kind of a shrine of Talad, and maybe here. Yeah, maybe here. And by the way, the shrine of Talad, I can drop it. I think so, right? I think the shrine I can drop it. If I want. No? Yeah, we have it. I just don't know where is it. But I thought we had a buildings, but I think it's outside. But I think I can drop. I don't know where the hell they are. But anyway, I have the item. I think it's called Talad Shrine. I think it's called... Anyway, I have it. It's the same one that we see in the Conclave of the Glyph. So it's the circles with the gem in the middle, right? So we can maybe move it here and move Murago here, which is in a much better place than where it is now. And if I remember, it's not easy when you open a chat with an NPC and you have 7 or 8 bubbles to choose. Nah, it's okay. I mean, it's a list, so it's fine. It's a list. Okay. So I think the two gods we need, and Exosia we need, cooks we need, mining we need, I don't know, maybe the carrot takers we can, but you know, there's all the alchemy stuff here. There is a lot of stuff on alchemy and herbalism. So we have 20 quests, so it's fairly this is very relevant. The Eternal Forge, okay. So next, yeah, this is the problem of Iren that is in Oja, right? And this is an issue. Then we have the guards, right? We have the guards, and the guards I think we should absolutely have, which is the Octarchy. Which actually start with Remnant, but I don't know if I want to start it with him. I think I would probably change it. And then there are the thieves, but the thieves... The thieves, I think it can be mentioned, but it can be a side, right? It can be a side. it can be a side. The 13 words. The 13 word. Not the 13 words. No? I don't remember. But anyway, so if we do it like this, right? If we do it like this, we have, he's already a lot, but I think is reasonable. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, 10 is a lot. 10 in a single dialogue, it will be like overwhelming. But I don't have another solo. Or we move more to the, side, right? But yes, I think there can be one NPC that is knowledgeable about all these ones, including the sides, and he will answer to you, to any question you have on all these ones, and he will point you to the people, and even more, it will tell you where the people are, right? So that you can basically start your initial quest. Because what happens today, right? What happens today is that you spawn into the city, you have no idea where to go, and at the end, the first NPC that you find is actually Arnquist, right? Which is kind of good because Arnquist has anyway an introduction quest, which is the Smith, right? But this means that everyone starts with the Smith quest. It doesn't make any sense. Maybe you want to be an alchemist, right? Why have to start with this guy? I don't care. I don't care about steel. I don't care about weapons. I don't care about mining, right? So why I have to start with this guy? But basically, today, can I mount your mount? I cannot mount Ribi. It's not yours. Pity. Okay, I think this is a plan, guys. There is a plan. I really like it. I really like it. I think it will be way better than today. I think it can be done. All can be done without a new release. So just with quests and small changes and things. So how dare you? Okay, I'm gonna pet him. Why we cannot pet animals? If I do follow, no, it doesn't let me do it. Oh wow, it's very frontal. He's looking at me very. Did you teach him something or no? Cannot speak. Pity though. Can I say greetings to him? Doesn't speak. Pity. In the future he will. Okay. I think this is a plan. Good. I like this. I like this. So what we have to do? Okay. So what I have to do, I think I will probably do this first or no. I don't know. We can give a priority to these things, but update welcome letter, right? So we have to update the welcome letter. I think this definitely happens before this stuff. I think it happens before this, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Can I move this out or no? Yeah, we are. I mean, for the one of you that just joined, we are doing some high level reasoning on. Some high level reasoning on the initial part of the game, right? And how those parts of the game will connect with the main plot, with the factions, with the organizations, right? Because now I didn't tell you everything, obviously. I told you just a piece. But basically now I can tell you the rest of the vision, right? So outpost, welcome letter, map, Mr. Guard. Okay, Mr. Guard, maybe let me move it because otherwise it's too much stuff. Let me move it somewhere else. Really down, down, down. Okay, now this image is huge, which is nice. So welcome letter, guard. Yes, welcome letter, guard, profession. Right? Welcome letter, guard, profession. Welcome letter, guard, profession. Profession, one or many. You can do as many as you want. You can also not do them. I mean, it's completely open, right? So it's not that you have to, but let's say if you want to follow a logical path, there will be profession, right? Profession, materials that you create thanks to your profession. So I don't know how to call them, but these are your goods, you know, your outcomes, whatever you produce, right? So it's the produced stuff, the stuff that you produced, right? Stuff produced, whatever it is. Stuff produced. And now finally, city manager. This is where everything connects. City manager. Because thanks to the fact that you are part of a specific profession, you can produce specific stuff, right? And then you can help the city manager to grow, right? And so the city grows, right? The city grows, and you get benefits, and you get in parallel. Actually, this is not only city manager. So in theory. Yeah, in theory it is not exactly correct because city manager, city grows benefits, right? So this is a sub-product of stuff. So with the stuff, with your profession and the stuff produced, right? So that is basically the continuation. What I want you to be able to do with your stuff produced, I want you to be able to do city manager, city grows benefit, and I want you to do city manager defenses. I want you to do city manager defenses, and in theory I also would like you to do, but it's not that simple at the moment because it's not yet exactly the way I want it, right? Is dungeons. The problem is that at the moment the dungeons are not really. Maybe we crashed. I don't know. Let me see. Yep, I think we crashed. Oh, we have the first crash of the new release. Let's go. Let me see. First crash of the new release. Let me look at that. Let me look at that. Oh yes, it's a nice crash. Request a storage view. Someone was looking at the storage. You. No, maybe not you. But you were online. No, it was not you. I don't know, maybe it was you, maybe it was not. But someone was looking at the storage and something went bad. It would be very interesting to know what went bad. Server character CPP 1938. It's possible that someone tried to visually keep from the storage, and it's possible that that crashes. It's just a guess, but I think it's a good guess. PS server character. PS server character. PS server character. What was it? 1938. 1938. Get merchant. Yeah, that is very risky. Yeah, that is very, very risky code. I have to change this. It's only server side, so we can patch it. But basically, someone used the storage, and then somehow he managed to unselect the NPC, and then he did a storage operation. In theory, it should be impossible, because when you have the storage window open, I am preventing the change of target by Purbos. He dropped again, so he's probably trying to do the same thing. But the reason is that he's doing it. Yeah, he crashed in the same. He crashed again. Let me see if he crashed in the same way. I can patch it, but it will take me some time. But we can release the patch in case. Yep, it crashed exactly the same, identical. So it's someone that is doing a storage. I can see who is it if I debug. Do you want to see how we do it? We can debug the thing. We can do this. GDB server core. It's probably someone that is trying to do a certain operation, doesn't understand that he's crashing the server because obviously he doesn't know, and he's just trying to do it again, right? You just maybe do a /who when if you connect and say, but yeah, the code is very unsafe, but so I can patch it. But in theory, it's impossible to change the target, and it's also strange that he's changing the target. Maybe he's on a mount. Maybe someone on a mount to do it, because mounts are pretty weird in our game. Yeah, it's possible. There is someone on a mount trying to storage. Maybe. Still reading because he's also starting the server at the same time, so I may be a bit slow. But so PS character, get PID. Oh, the client is a. The character is what? The character is invalid. Maybe someone on a mount that is trying to storage. Because the character is invalid. The character is invalid. I can tell you, well, if the character is invalid, I cannot tell you who is it because it's invalid. Request a storage view. Yeah, but this came from someone, come on. Request a storage view, it came from someone. It's impossible that. Request storage view. Get PS character. Yeah, because he's trying to understand if he's a mount or if he's not a mount. Pawn. So pawn is no, but he can. There is something strange, guys. Here is very strange because we get the request. The pawn is valid. We check if the pawn is invalid. The pawn seems to be valid, but then it's not. So something weird going on. Request storage view. Let me just send a message. Hi, someone is using the storage function and is crashing the server. Would be nice to know who is and what action triggers the crash. So let me see if we can print out, and I will have to go soon, unfortunately, but I think it was a very good session. I think I reasoned a lot on stuff, and And it really is really good. It's really good. So if we go frame 2, right? Frame 2, we are here, right? And hopefully the pawn is not optimized out. Fuck it. Huh? Teacher, wait, teacher, what is the thing? Teacher pointer, yeah. Ah, no, yeah, but it's a string, no? What do you mean invalid cast? Item name is an F string, yeah. What do you mean invalid cast? What do you mean optimized out? All the variables that we can access are not valid. Ah, we found the item though. We found the item that this guy is trying to use. But it's strange that then the pawn seems not to be valid. And then when we go into char manager, right? And the storage view, which is here. Right, which is 1. BG1, sorry, F1. No, the character is valid here. The character is valid, so client. Can I print the client name? Please. Yakare, yeah, you were right. You were right. Yakare is the... Fuck. Yakare. Each time we try to inspect an item in storage, it crashed. It tried to inspect an item in storage. Okay, unfortunately I have to go, guys, but I will check it, okay? I have to go to dinner, but I will check it after. Maybe don't inspect too much stuff in storage at the moment, but I will check it after dinner, and I will see if I can find a solution, okay? And anyways, server side, so we can patch it without any new client and such. As soon as okay. The eye icon. The eye icon. So the one where you see in 3D. Okay, I will think about it. I mean the eye icon in the detail panel or the eye icon. Okay, anyway. I will, yeah, but because here what happens is that this function, I think, is this character null. Yes, this character null. No, it doesn't have this. No, it doesn't have this character null. He has. Let me see 1 second. 1938. He's actually crashing here. How can he crash here? Get merchant. So it seems that she does not have a merchant selected. So maybe the inspect button is removing the merchant selection. I will try it on my machine, because I don't want to crash it again. But yeah, I will fix it tonight. I will fix it tonight. If it's happening all the time, I will fix it tonight. Okay, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Tonight, I don't think so. Tomorrow evening, 9:30 p.m. European time. Meanwhile, enjoy the new release. Play it, find bugs, try to crash it, and we can fix it. And yup, I will see you tomorrow, 9:30. Bye. Bye-bye. The eye icon, okay. But the eye icon inside the detail panel? Well, anyway, I will test it. I think I will reproduce it easy.